Welcome to video number 2 with the Spiritual Coffee House. We're blessed to have Gabby Ugarte with us today as a guest. And Gabby is going to be talking about Theta Healing, which is amazing. And I have personally had her work on me. I can't even begin to tell you. It was a definite experience. I'm not a lightweight, and let me tell you, it was almost to the point that I was extremely overwhelmed. Welcome, Gabby. How are you?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm very blessed to be here. I'm doing well. How are you?
I am fabulous, honey. I am always fabulous when I see you.
That's
So
how I feel. I feel the same. I love seeing you.
thank you, doll.
You're
Gabby,
welcome.
I love what you do. You
Thank you.
know, I would also say that the day that you worked on me, my mediumship was elevated that day as well.
Wow, thank you. That means a lot. Theta
Yeah,
Healing clears a lot so you can have better intuition. And even though you already are really intuitive, it makes it be sharper.
yeah, it was just easier. The flow was
Yeah.
easier.
Aw, that means a lot. Thank you so much. I'm
You
glad that you were
so
able to.
well. So, Gabby, do me a favor, because we're talking about spiritual topics now with the Spiritual Coffee House. So, can you explain to everybody what Theta Healing is?
Yes, I would love to. So, theta healing is a technique, a modality that is one of the strongest energy healing modalities in the world because how it works is that you go into your subconscious mind. So, when you go into your subconscious mind, you can remove limiting beliefs that are causing sickness and illness. So, when you find the root of the sickness and the illness, you're able to shift it with theta healing. So what theta healing does is it's a means to help you come to the root with the healer. So it's guided through the healer, and the healer in this case is me. I would help you find the root within yourself that is causing any incurable illness, any depression, any anxiety, any overwhelm, any eating disorder, any money problems. So you're able to shift all of those and change it. So what you do is that you have the opportunity to actually change your life instead of putting a band-aid on it. So sometimes you do healing, but you realize your life doesn't really change.
Mm,
So you do a lot of healing work, but your life is still the same. So if your life is still the same and that happens and it feels like you're going up against a wall, then what theta healing does is give you the opportunity to shift it and actually change your life by making beliefs, new beliefs, and making commands. So you bring about this reality by creating it yourself internally. So if a person is sick, if someone has cancer, for example, you first identify the root, and then you show them how to imagine a life so that there is a life
hmm.
after them thinking that they're dying. So since they think they're dying, that's where the stop is.
Right.
And what you do is you shift it. So I give you new ways of being and new ways of living, and it's dependent on each person if they accept it or not. So if you accept the healing or if you reject the healing, and if someone's rejecting the healing, you just have to go deeper belief work. So it means they have more limiting beliefs of abandonment, of being alone, of being separate from others, or feeling that they're unsupported. So what I do is help to show people to see that they're being supported, and the people outside really do love them, and there's more life to live with them. So that's when the illness starts to shift and heal, because the person starts to have more hope.
Very nice. Very
Thank
nice. And what impresses me is, your age, because you're very young. And to be doing this, I mean, that excites me a lot, because I always say that with spiritualism, we need to bring the youngsters, so that it continues, it keeps moving forward. How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for 7 years. I actually started very young. It's funny because when I went to one of my Theta Healing classes, I told my teacher, I was telling a story, and I go, "Yeah, I remember when I was young because I felt old." And she goes, "Young? What do you mean? Like, you're so young." And I was like, "No, I'm so old. Like, do you see the work I'm doing?" And it took me a lot to shift out of feeling old to that I'm young, because I started 7 years ago. So it's such a long time ago that I do see how I've grown with it. But it's interesting how one of the things I've worked on is to feel that I'm young, because sometimes when I go do sessions on people, they see me and they see that I'm young, but that's just the like how I look, because
That's not your
inside,
soul.
yeah, it's not my soul. Inside, my soul is very old. And that's why I love doing this work, because I see people's lives genuinely change, and they can come out of the hole that they were in, and they genuinely shift. And it's like saving people's lives, but I'm not saying that I'm saving your life. I'm saying that the universe creator brought you to me
You're the
for
middle
you
person.
to, yeah, for you to have a means to save your life.
Yeah, you're the middle person, just like me with mediumship. We're the middle
Yeah.
people. Without the universe, without, the spirit world, we can be as good as we want, but without them participating, we have nothing.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
say that all the time. We got to stay out of our ego, you know.
Yeah, it's true. Because sometimes the ego can get in the way, and you realize that it doesn't serve you, and that the universe is doing the work as well. And it's like working for the universe, and it's just beautiful seeing it be done, and
It
being
is.
able to be a tool for people to heal.
I was going to ask you what are the benefits, but I think you answered a lot of that in the first question, which is awesome. I love that. How
Thank
did
you.
you
I can
learn?
tell you some more.
Oh, we'll do that.
So let me think of any other benefits. Any other good benefits of theta healing that people are usually interested in is your money situation, because you bring in new downloads and feelings of abundance. So you shift how the brain works from poverty to an abundance mindset, but it's permanent. So it feels a lot better, because even if a person is in lack, they stop to feel lack, so they start to feel wealthy and secure and abundance in the moment that they're in. So when they move forward, they're motivated by abundance and wealth and prosperity, and already feeling that, instead of doing it out of a lack mentality. So that's one big shift.
And what you think you are, you become.
Exactly. And you have to believe it, like really believe it, to be able to embody it. Because if you're still wondering how much you're going to have, you're going to keep wondering how much you're going to have. Do you
Girl, I
know
love
what I
you.
mean?
Girl, I love you.
I love you too.
I mean, especially at your age. It just amazes me.
Thank you. That means so much. Meeting you was honestly a miracle to me. It was such a blessing.
Oh,
I was
girl,
really
So
Happy.
don't put me, I'm not that important.
You are. To me, you are. I promise.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and to be in your space. I'm honored to be here.
I'm honored to be in your space.
Thank you.
So, how did you learn this?
I learned theta healing at an event. So it's actually an interesting story. I was going to teach yoga, but they canceled my yoga class. So, yeah, the whole yoga training. So I was like, what am I going to do now? So I decided to go to an event. And it was a spiritual event on the water. It was super beautiful. And that's when my teacher started speaking. At that time, she wasn't my teacher, but she was speaking about theta healing and how she healed herself from cancer by not receiving any chemo, no treatment, just doing theta healing. And I was honestly so amazed that I didn't really think about it. I just signed up for the class. I asked her when it was, and it was the upcoming Friday. So I was like, I'm ready. I feel like it was what I had been looking for my whole life. And for someone to tell me that it was possible, I was amazed. I did have to do some belief work to really believe it. But once I shifted my beliefs to know that everything can heal, I started seeing miracles. So it's really beautiful work.
Nice. You were meant that was universal. It was meant to be.
Yeah, and it was
The
around
class was meant.
11/11 too. It was an 11/11 event, actually. It
Huh?
was on 11/11, and then the class was a few days later.
Wow, wow.
I
So
remember
what
that. Thank you.
you're welcome. What was your goal? Like, some people will say, well, I got into it because I had a family member that, was ill. It sounds like it was universal planning for you. But when you decided to take this class, what was your goal? What did you want to achieve?
It's My goal was similar to what you're saying, but I feel that I did have different goals. I was looking for healing. So there are a lot of people in my family that were sick, and there was hernias, there was cancer, there was depression, and different psoriasis as well that has no cure. So I wanted to be able to help. And I also was looking to heal myself as well because I was carrying trauma. So I had been through my own trauma
Mm-hmm.
with my dad that I wanted to heal because I could see that there was trauma and I didn't want to carry it. I just didn't know how to get rid of it.
Right.
So I went to the class and I actually did a session as well so I could experience it. And it was in association to my family as well because it was all connected. So
Right.
it was really beautiful seeing the healings too because I was able to do the healing. So I did the healing. My sister was really sick and she also had C. difficile, which you can die from C. difficile if you take antibiotics. And she was prescribed antibiotics. So it was it was a life and death situation on all different ends.
Right.
So I there was nothing I could lose really. And I trusted that it was possible to heal. And at first, it was a little hard with them to believe it. But as they also did sessions, they started to heal. So we actually ended up going to the doctor, and the doctor said that the hernia had disappeared, the C. difficile had disappeared. And my family's responses would be that we holistically healed my hernia. So it was really beautiful.
That is beautiful. That is
Thank
fabulous.
you.
Tell me, how did learning this change your life? Because I know I said this, I did an interview with Karen, which you know, Karen, and I said, I know how mediumship changed my life, but how did this change your life? Because in in the spiritual realm, everything we do, it impacts our life, it changes it. So how did it change yours?
Yeah, you're right. It really does. When you go into it, it changes your life. And the way it changed my life is that it made me self-aware. It woke me up. So it woke me up to the fact that you can control your life and that you can create your life. So that was a big understanding for me because I felt that I wasn't in control of my life. I felt that I didn't have a choice, that I couldn't do what I wanted to do. So
Mm.
Theta Healing gave me that opportunity. It gave me the opportunity to be able to work for myself, and not only that, but choose my time.
Right.
So it also changed me in the sense of where I became more aware of love, because Theta Healing, the base of it is unconditional love. So it showed me what unconditional love was, because I had been so conditioned by love, like, oh, they're gonna love me in this, they're gonna love me in if that, like they're not gonna love me if I do this. But those are all forms of conditioned love.
Right.
So it woke me up to be able to see that love was unconditional, and I was able to receive that love for myself. Like I was able to give that unconditional love for myself, and then open the doors to be able to receive it from others, and also believe it, in a way, believe that, love is unlimited and it's limitless, instead of so many limitations. It also changed my life because I had a lot of skin problems, and they didn't have cures either. So the dermatologist would keep hurting my skin, and it would hurt my body. And I was tired of hurting my body.
Mhm.
So I dedicated my time and a lot of money to doing theta healing sessions on myself, so that, well, someone did it for me. And then I learned more, but so that I could heal my body without hurting it. And the stuff on my body started disappearing. So I had like things on my arm. You can't really see it now, but I had things on my arm. And after one session, just one session of 1 hour, it literally disappeared. I just went away. And I touched my skin, and there was nothing on my skin. There was no bumps, no anything. I started getting eczema at one point, and I that also started disappearing, because sometimes you live in life and something big happens and the trauma gets stored in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
it helped me remove the trauma from my body and not be able to let the trauma be stored in my body. So I would process the trauma by talking about it. So it's not like I'm forgetting about it. So I would address it. And then after I addressed it, it would disappear. So it's very interesting. And the roots will every part of the body, it doesn't change. So the skin is association to worthiness and being seen. And at that point in my life, I didn't like being seen. So it was amazing being able to see the root of why I had things on my skin. and being able to shift it so that you're comfortable in being seen, because before I would try to hide, but there's nowhere to hide to.
Right.
So that's when the symptoms would come in. And I was able to shift it. And that's how you shift how you're feeling internally, by with the belief work. So you get a new belief. So an example is that you know what it feels like to feel comfortable in your skin. So
Mhm.
then you receive it and then you believe it, and it becomes comfortable, like your skin, your body, everything becomes comfortable because it's your vehicle, and you start to love your skin and your body more because you see your body as a body, not as something you just talk to in a harsh way.
Very nice. I am so proud of you.
Thank you so much. It really means so much to me.
At your age, it just amazes me. It does. And I'm going to tell you a secret. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Before we wrap this up, when you offered to do the session with me, I'm going to be honest with you, Gabby. I
Um,
was like, uh, because I'm very protective of my energetic field.
I
Okay.
understand.
And I was looking at you and I'm like, this little girl, this, and I said to myself, look at Randy, just go ahead and do this. Don't be rude because, she's being very loving. So she's not going
Oh,
to bring bad energy. So just go ahead and let her do it. Girl, when you started, I was like, holy hell, what is this? Because it was
thank
just
you.
absolutely amazing. And I will tell you, I have never experienced a healing like that
That means a lot to me. Wow.
in all
Thank
my
you.
years.
Wow.
And I'm a double Reiki master, two different modalities.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
my wife is an acupuncture physician with her master's in Chinese medicine, and she's a Reiki master and what have you. And she's good at what she does. But as far as just energetic healing, it was off the chart.
That's honestly one of the nicest things. Thank you so much. That means a lot. I'm glad I was able to help you. Sometimes I understand that you don't want to be too open, like you don't want to open up, but then when you do, it opens the door to something so different. And I thank you for giving me the opportunity to work with you.
Look at, I don't let many mediums read for me. I don't let many astrologers read for me. I'm very closed with my energetic field.
I understand, it makes sense.
But yeah, it was fabulous. So listen,
Thank you for sharing.
you're very welcome. So in closing, guys, at the end of this video is going to be all of her information. And Gabby, I understand you can do this from distance.
Yes, it works
Yes.
exactly the same from a distance than in person.
So if you guys want to know more about it, you want to talk to Gabby, all her information will be at the end. Gabby, honey, much love to you, and I look forward to seeing you on Sunday.
I look forward to seeing you too. I'm really excited to give you a hug. And thank you so much for having me. Thank you for your time and for everything, the space, your energy, for being open with me, and for
Anytime,
giving love too in return. Thank you.
anytime, baby, anytime.
Same for you. Yeah, anytime. Thank you.
You guys, we will see you soon, and Gabby, I will see you on Sunday.
I will see you soon. Yes, I would love to see you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.